Performance analysis: Rafael Nadal vs Roger Federer, Australian Open 2014. Aims: the aim of the analysis between Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer during the semi-finals of the Australian Open in 2014 was to identify the key performance indicators throughout the game that led to Rafael Nadal winning the first set. What is performance analysis? Performance analysis is unique from any other type of analysis, as it refers to analysing the actual performance rather than experiments or self-reported studies, such as interviews or focus groups. Why is performance analysis used within sports? Performance analysis also helps support the recall of a coach, as it provides a more in-depth analysis than a coach can simply remember from their own observations. From this, feedback is optimised and will help improve overall performance. When is performance analysis used? Prior to an event, athletes and coaches make decisions that need to be supported by evidence. These decisions are with regard to the strengths, weaknesses and tactics of home team players or opponents in upcoming competitions or fixtures. Also, performance analysis is used after a game to evaluate the team's performance and see where improvements can be made ready for the next game or competition. Who uses performance analysis? Performance analysis is used within sport by coaches and athletes to help provide feedback to players in order to help them direct training to enhance performance. Secondly, performance analysis can be used to help make decisions about funding priorities. What is notational analysis? Notational analysis involves extensive use of video analysis and technology to make improvements to performance within sport. Theoretical models, which are based on key performance indicators, are used to help develop a player's skill development. What software was used to analyse the game? The software that was used to analyse the match was a program called SportsCode GameBreaker Plus. This software allows coaches to record, play, edit and analyse any video. The software has two main elements that were used to analyse the KPIs within the match: GameBreaker Plus Timeline and GameBreaker Plus Code Window. The code window allowed users to create custom buttons that recorded sections of footage before and after the button is clicked, with the use of lead and lag times. The use of a hotkey can make analysing a lot faster and easier for the user, as it will reduce the amount of clicking, plus more than one KPI can be recorded at once. The recorded sections of footage showing the various KPIs are presented on a GameBreaker Plus timeline. Once here, the collection of footage clips can be exported to an Excel file. This type of file is called an instant frequency report. This report is what was used to generate graphs and tables to present the data collected from the footage, where further analysing and breakdown of data can be used to identify why key points in the game occurred. Protocol and reliability. How reliable is the collected data? The data collected needed to be checked for the level of reliability before it is used to suggest why various outcomes during the match happened. To find the reliability, the process of using the GameBreaker software had to be repeated and again exported to an Excel as an instant frequency report, as shown in Table 1. From here, the reliability was calculated by dividing the value for the KPI from the first attempt by the second attempt value, then multiplying this by 100 to give the percentage reliability. The example is used for Nadal's first service in. Dividing 28 by 29 and timing it by 100 gave a percentage reliability of 97%. It can be said that this was a very reliable analysis and that the data collected can be accurately used to discuss the game's highlights and key points. What are key performance indicators? Key performance indicators are a selection or combination of action variables that aim to explain or demonstrate areas of performance. In order for these indicators to be useful, they should either be based on successful or unsuccessful performance outcomes. Analysts and coaches use performance indicators to measure the performance of a team, element of a team, or an individual athlete. For example, just the defensive players in a football squad would be targeted to see how many successful and unsuccessful tackles they made throughout a game. Key performance indicators used in this analysis. The key performance indicators were identified as the following. Forehand. This is a stroke where the palm of the hand faces the direction in which the shot is to be hit. The ball is hit from a dominant side of the body and crosses over with the racket finishing on the non-dominant side. Backhand. A stroke played with the back of the hand facing the direction of the stroke, with the arm across the body hitting the ball on the non-dominant side of the body, leaving the racket at the end of the movement on the dominant side of the body. First service in. This is when the first service of the player was successfully hit into the correct box and no fault or let was present. 1 service games. This is when the player will win the service game and not break their serve. Double faults and unforced errors. A double fault is when a first service and a second service is either wide or long, and therefore no ball was landed within the service box. An unforced error is when an error is made by the player when there is no pressure applied from a direct attacking shot. Forehand versus backhand. The graph generated from the instant frequency report shows that the frequency of the KPIs for both performers is in fact very similar, with the largest range of 14 as seen in figure 11 with regard to the amount of backhands hit by both players, and the smallest range of 0 as seen in figure 4 earlier on in this presentation, for the number of service games won by each player at 6, meaning the tiebreak was needed to decide who won the first set. When comparing figures 10 and 11, a statement can be made that Nadal hit 14 more backhands than Federer, whilst Federer hit 12 more forehands than Nadal. This could be due to Nadal being left-handed and Federer being right-handed. For example, when Nadal hits a backhand cross-court, Federer would return the shot with a forehand. The total shots hits in the first set are 177 for Federer and 179 for Nadal, therefore suggesting that as one player hits a forehand, the other will return with a backhand. This idea is supported within the data. The scores of both Nadal and Federer are very similar, with only 2 more shots being played by Federer. Despite the balance of shots hit, the success rate of Federer's backhand is much lower than Nadal's. With relation to figure 8, Federer made a total of 9 unforced errors prior to the tiebreak at 6 games all, with 55% of those backhands, where Nadal only made 9, with only 33% from his backhand. This 22% difference clearly shows that Nadal's two-handed backhand is a lot more consistent than Federer's single-handed backhand. Service game. The serve is an important stroke in high-level tennis. A well-mastered serve is a substantial advantage for players. This is because it can dictate the rally. The server has the opportunity to force the opponent out of the court, leaving it open for an aggressive attacking return. Federer struggles to return Nadal's powerful serve as he uses a one-handed backhand that has less power as little rotational force of the torso means minimal force is generated. Therefore, all the shot power is developed from the shoulders and legs. Nadal's first serve rate for the first set is 29, which is 2 more than Federer's 27, shown in figure 13. This could be a reason why Nadal had the upper hand in the tiebreak, where Nadal was able to use his serve as a tool to exploit Federer's weak one-handed backhand. Because of this, it is clear why 86% of Nadal's first serves were directed towards Federer's backhand. Tiebreak. The tiebreak was at first a walkthrough for Rafael Nadal, as he won points from Federer's serve. When Nadal served again, he was 2 points ahead of Federer, giving him a large advantage of a 4-1 lead. Despite Roger Federer managing to claw back 3 points, Nadal went on to win the tiebreak 7-4. Using the data in Table 3, showing the number of unforced errors with relation to each player's backhand and forehand shots, it can be seen that when Federer is serving, Nadal won the first point of the tiebreak as Federer lost the point with an unforced backhand error. With Nadal now serving in point 2, Federer, despite the serve being directed towards his backhand, managed to win the point as Nadal lost the point due to an unforced backhand error. Point 3 had Nadal serving again towards Federer's backhand. However, this time Federer was unable to return the serve, progressing the score to 2-1. During point 4 of the tiebreak, when the score was at 2-1 to Nadal and Federer is serving, there is a clear example of an unforced error on Federer's behalf. The shot attempted was a forehand volley, which compared to the previous full forehand volley is very simple. This could be due to Federer losing concentration or confidence in himself to successfully complete the shot, possibly from being overpressurized by the score.